Good afternoon, everyone. Are you having a good day? Well, it's about to come to an end because we're going to have an existential crisis together today, because today we're going to be looking at some of the most crazy and interesting predictions that experts have made about the future. And when I think about the future or space, I tend to get a little scared and not be able to sleep. A little panic attack does the body good. Let's go. The divorce rate will go down by 2040 because many households will have a sex robot that their spouse is allowed to sleep with. What? Dude, I don't know about you, but I'm afraid to fuck robots. We have smartphones and cell phones, and we've had those for a good amount of time. And even you hear stories of those just like exploding out of nowhere and fucking setting a whole house on fire. Oh, the Samsung, it exploded underneath my pillow. You don't think this sex robot, while you're in it, could short circuit, maybe clamp down on that fucking wiener? Maybe just spontaneously combust and set your whole house on fire because you fucked it too hard. I'm not taking that chance, dude. Also, I don't know that I think this is wishful thinking over here, okay? You think your wife is going to be like, "Hey, this is totally fine. I'm in here doing the dishes. My husband's in the room fucking a robot." And that's what's going to keep them together. I think, if anything, this will result in more divorces. There'll be more men being like, "I don't need you. I got fucking C-3PO in the other room that I could fuck. I don't need you. What do I need you for?" Let's see. Hold on. Or Norwegian Robot, Norway, bro. It's Norwegian. No wonder. They're like, they have saunas. They're very happy and healthy. This is not going to work in the States. I'm telling you right now. Listen, Norway, the rest of us die at 70. All right, you guys, I know you guys are living till like 84 over there and everything is happy-go-lucky and you got mountains and shit. Not here, dog. All right. A Norwegian robotics engineering company is focusing their efforts on lifelike sex dolls for the next 10 years with the goal of helping spouses limit affairs and lower the divorce rate through normalizing approved sex with realistic humanoid dolls. Norway is a bunch of idiots. We're thinking this is going to happen, bro. Like, no one's going to be happy with you fucking a doll in the next room, dude. What an insane thing. You and your wife are going to get into fights and you're like, "You know what? Just go fuck your doll." Go fuck your humanoid doll, dude. That's not fixing anything. That's a catalyst for more divorce. I don't know if these people know what they're doing here. You'll be able to smell TV shows. Oh my God, I fucking hope so. You know what I also want to do? Be able to text a smell. That would be awesome. Like, imagine being like, "Yo, I have this candle. It's fucking fire." Boom. I send you a smell. Oh my God. I hope that fucking happens. My mind can't even conceptualize how that would be possible, but it would be cool. Nicholas. Whoa, dude. I'm not saying that name. I'm good on that name. Nicholas N., Mr. N., a former director of MIT's Media Lab, predicted that we'd soon be getting full-color, large-scale holographic TV with force feedback of olfactory output. The olfactory gland is the gland that you use for smelling and identifying and recognizing. Don't ask how I know that. But yeah, it means, it's MIT speak for we'll be able to smell the TV. And I'll be honest with you, the only experience I have with this is when I went to Epcot and they have a ride called Soarin', where you're like in a thing and it looks like you're flying through like the entire world and you could smell shit. So you're like flying through Africa and there's like a bunch of fucking like a stampede of elephants and they're kicking up dirt and then it smells like dirt. I'm like, this is such an experience. So can you imagine that? And also that changes the way you direct some movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine being in a horror movie and all of a sudden it's like, it's really, whatever. And then you're like, what the fuck is that smell? And it's because the killer is an alien or something. It smells like an alien. I don't know. It would just make it that much more real and terrifying. Also, now I'm thinking about how much more addicted to screens we will become. Like, it will get harder and harder to separate reality from whatever not reality is. What is the word that I'm looking for? I don't know and I don't care. But we're headed downhill is what I'm trying to say. But we will have our fuck doll humanoid robots to fall back on, so we'll be fine. Dust particles will spy on us. Who cares? At this point, everyone knows what everyone's doing. You need to make it smaller. Dust. There's fucking people out there that think that birds are watching us. It's a wrap, okay? A researcher named Chris Pister predicts a future in which the Earth would be sprinkled with countless tiny sensors to track people's movements and activity, and we'd never notice. It's hard for me to give a shit at this point. I assume that the government is just watching me at all times. I don't think I live a necessarily sick life where they're getting any sort of cool information from that. But whatever, dude. More ways to spy on us. Go ahead. It's going to track our movements. You're going to know how many steps I get. Congratulations. We'll be able to talk with our dead relatives whenever we want. I don't know if I love that. Ray Kurzweil. These names, man. Do you have to have a weird name to make predictions? What is this? Ray Kurzweil, a futurist. A futurist. How do you get that title? I think about the future and I say things, and that makes me a futurist. A futurist and director of engineering at Google predicts that we'll be able to create a virtual reality avatars of our deceased loved ones, realistic enough that we can interact with them. I feel like this is good because it would help people with some sort of closure. It definitely would make loss easier to deal with, but it's like a slippery slope. It's kind of scary. You know, like you can never let go of your dead relatives. Like, honestly, I don't know what the impact of any of these things are. I assume that there is a gigantic one, especially with this one. Hey, you never have to deal with grief or loss again because you could just talk to the person who died. You're like, cool. Now people die and you're like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of like changes what life and death kind of is if you're doing that. Now we're getting deep. Jeez, it started with fucking sex robots and now we're talking about my dead grandma or something. Jeez. I don't even know what the fuck I would talk to my grandma about. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be like, how you doing? I don't You look good. So I'm fucking dead, dude. What do you mean I look good? Men will be able to easily increase penis size through a surgery by the year 2035, similar to breast implants. This is not good for people like me that are afraid of surgery, because this means that the average penis size is probably going to go up to 9. And that's just going to make me look like I have a micro penis because, you know, that's a toughie. All right, that is definitely a toughie. And, like, this will probably get a little ridiculous. Like, we see those women that have gigantic lips and they have size double Z tits, and you're like, what are you doing, lady? Also, how are you able to stand? Because you're small and your tits are huge, and it looks like the skin is about to rip. And you know that dudes are going to do that with their dicks, and they're just going to be walking around with giant bulges. Like, do we even want that, dude? I don't... You know, maybe it's good, you know, for men with micro penises that are like, you know what, this is just like, it's just affecting my social life too much. But I think for the most part, we're all out here with something similar. You know what I mean? And like, let's just all be on the same team and make a pact. Because if all of us start going out there and getting 10-inch ding-dongs, then the normal ones are going to, you know, the average guys are going to get left in the dust. And now we'll be the micro penis. I don't know if I'm ready for that. What's my robot humanoid going to think when I try to stick something in it that isn't 100 inches long? Fuck. We'll be visiting dinosaur zoos. Ooh. Thanks to advances in cloning technology, we might be able to bring back animals like the woolly mammoths. Oh my God, that would be so cool. I would love to see a dinosaur in real life. Also, like Jurassic World, if you've seen that movie, and they put you in those little pods and you could drive around the fucking park and there's dinosaurs everywhere. We know how that ends. But the good news is all these dinosaurs aren't as big as they're depicted in the movies. So, you know, a T-Rex is like 12 feet tall. Not that much taller than Shaquille O'Neal when you really think about it. So, like, I think a gun could take it down. I'm all for dinosaur zoos. I think that we should definitely have that if we are able to bring them back. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there are a lot of bad people in the world who are going to, like, get an egg and then build an army of dinosaurs and try to, you know, there'll probably be less rednecks and more dinosaurs at storming the Capitol in the year 2045 if this is the case. You know what I mean? Dinosaur zoos, though, would love to go. Would love to go. An asteroid will destroy us in about 800 years. Not even going to read the fine print of that because I don't want to know. I would like to sleep tonight. This was probably my biggest fear. This and tornadoes. I live in New York, by the way. But this and tornadoes was my biggest fear when I was younger. I like, whenever I was having a good day, I'd be like, one fucking rock in the wrong orbit is going to just destroy us, dude. And I saw Armageddon. I saw Deep Impact. These movies. My dad loved those movies. Anything about the end of the world, my dad loved. So growing up, I was very worried about the world just ending for like, oh, there's 400 fucking hurricanes going on at the same time. The tides are all fucked up. The moon exploded. Like, all of this stuff is what I'm thinking about. I even like was scared of, you know, I looked at like the ocean and I'd be like, you know, I still do this of like, imagine like a giant Godzilla comes out of there and just like kills us all. Like, what are we actually going to do? So yeah, I believe that an asteroid will eventually hit Earth. I'm not excited about it. I hope I'm not around. We have shows to do. Okay. So please wait on the asteroid stuff. That'd be nice. Thank you. Marriage will be replaced by an annual contract. Oh my God, the NBA is seeping into real life. I think we will certainly see some weaker forms of marriage that are designed to last a decade or two rather than the whole lifetime. But traditional marriage will still be an option. Increasing longevity is the key. If you marry at 20 and live to well over 100, that is far too long a commitment. People will want marriages that aren't necessarily forever, but don't bankrupt them when they end. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, I know that like when you get married, it's like forever, but no, it's not. You get divorced. Get a prenup if that's what you're worried about. It's not 1920. Your Irish Catholic parents aren't going to disown you and kick you out of the house if you guys get divorced or whatever the fuck. People get divorced all the fucking time. Like, it's not, it is a lifelong, you should want to be committed. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you definitely have the option to protect yourself if you're worried about going bankrupt, or if you're worried about like, oh, I don't know if I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. Bro, come on. If you don't know if you want to be with someone forever, how are you going to know if you want to be with them for 10 years? That doesn't make sense to me. People will have prosthetic brains. I would argue that there's some people out there that do have prosthetic brains right now. What? That's the brain? Precise, reliable, accessible neuroimaging. This silicone chip implant will perform the same processes as the damaged part of the brain it is replacing. That is crazy. But if we can go back to the photo of this thing... It is a giant helmet. I was embarrassed to wear a helmet when I would be riding bikes. You think I'm just going to wear one 24/7? What a really cool thing if we can do it. But let's make it cooler. Let's make it like a hat, like a baseball hat or something. This just looks like what my nephew wore when he came out and his head was all flat in the back. People will have implants that will immediately translate any language they hear. Listen, I am, conspiracy adjacent, but even I'm hopping on board to have this. It would be so cool to have a chip placed right in the center of my head that the government can explode at any time that they want, just so I can understand different languages. I would definitely go live in Europe probably. It would make me way less scared to live in Europe. And I want to see how I do in France, you know what I mean, with just French. But yeah, the government will be able to explode that at any time if I get out of line, which I've tended to do over the years. If I had a chip in my fucking brain in second grade, Miss Macchio would have exploded that shit on the 4th day of school. This would be really cool, though. I kind of like this. There's little things that sort of exist like this already. Like you can talk into a thing, and then you can read it, and it will like translate like that. We're getting close. Ideally, I would like to not have to implant something in my brain, but if I have to roll the dice, I will. We'll have nanobots. Don't know what that is. We'll have nanobots in our bodies that treat sicknesses as they arise and record our memories and upload them to the cloud. By 2030, they'll have this? Get the fuck out of here. In 10 years, nanobots in your blood might keep you from getting sick. I love the might in there. It might. We don't know, dude. We're going to inject it, but we're going to figure it out. Transmit your thoughts to a wireless cloud and give you eternal life. Give you eternal... Who wrote this? A vampire, dude? Eternal life? What the fuck are we talking about? Did Joseph Smith write this? You know what? Definitely don't want my thoughts transmitted to a wireless cloud either. Like, you guys thought a lot of people were getting canceled before. Now every thought in your head is on a wireless cloud. Do you know how much of my thoughts are filtered out before it comes out of here? There's a lot of work going on here before we get here, and you want to upload that. Let's not do that, okay? Eternal life. The planet one is blowing up in 800 years. Probably before that, let's be honest. The sun is going to explode, and we will just be rendered into a mist. So I don't know about this eternal life thing just because we have nanobots in our blood, dude. I don't know about that. My dad wouldn't even let me get this anyway, so I'm not allowed. If my dad was severely brain damaged and he had to wear that helmet, he would have just enough of his brain working to be like, nope, that's gay, and would not wear it. That is all for this week's video. The future sounds terrifying, to be honest. A lot of sex robots and things that are scaring me. I hope you guys are doing well, but I'm also panicking now that I know the rest of this information. I hope it's not true, but we'll see. At least we'll be able to text each other some smells, so you can smell me shit my pants. But anyway, that is all for this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.